Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Donga, and you're listening to Boom Radio. Boom Radio. Keep listening. Don't touch it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. And I bid you a warm welcome today. It is Thursday. Yep. And we're moving closer every day to Christmas. It's just a couple of days to Christmas, actually. It's about less than a week to Christmas now. So, welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Dolupo. And I bid you a warm welcome, like I had said earlier. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Minister Wike, FCT 001, is in the news. And nobody is not sparing anybody as we speak. There's quite a number of people that are in his net. And he is not changing his mind on some of things. Okay, looks like the more refineries we're having, looks like there's serious. First time I probably would ever see adverts about petrol. Refineries having some form of price war or something, and maybe the competition is officially working. That we will talk about. Also, there's been conversations. CBN is pushing out a lot of things. There's sports that we're going to be talking about, and a whole bunch of other things right here at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. With me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Boom Bar.
Okay, so we're going straight into today's show, as we had said earlier. Minister Wike, for people that do not know, FCT 001. But before we get to that, let's just put a little bit of background. Since the president is on the line of the president yesterday, looked like it was just after he left the National Assembly, he just jetted off and he was in Lagos. Got to Lagos yesterday. And it's interesting because when I saw the man did not even wait a little bit. Now, shout out to Lagos people, because a lot of people are already complaining about traffic. There's an influx of people into Lagos already. But the president being in Lagos and in some parts of Lagos is not going to be funny. So maybe there are some parts that if you do not have any business going, maybe you shouldn't go. It's just an advice. Just wanted to put that out there.
We need to get to the point in this country where any president, would move around without disrupting the life of the people. We understand where we're coming from.
But doesn't that happen everywhere?
I'm coming. You can correct me or teach me, but let me just speak my mind. I understand that is a security thing, that Mr. President must move around with these heavy convoys and all of that, which means that they shut down any route that is going to drive through. But with the advent of choppers and helipads everywhere, it could have actually saved us a lot of headache yesterday. And most of these executive movements, if they choose the other means of transportation that would seemingly help people move around, and not disrupt their lives. Now you can.
Okay.
You can crucify me.
So I'm not crucifying. It's just saying that first things first. Is it not a thing? I'm not sure that there's everywhere that there's going to be a helipad. I'm just saying. And doesn't that happen everywhere? I would have probably...
So Mr. President lives in Ikoyi.
Mm-hmm.
The official residence of the president is in Ikoyi also.
Yeah.
I doubt if he will go there. He will go to his new house in Ikoyi on Bodilon. And the presidential house, the place where it should be, is Bodilon. It's not far from Bodilon. It's the barracks. I've forgotten the name of and I'm looking at the barracks as we're talking. It's just after the Syrian mosque. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that maybe his movement from that place to his apartment or residence on Bodilon would be shorter, because it's just going to go through Awolowo to get to Bodilon, as against driving all the way from the airport and shutting down major roads. We should just be a little bit more considerate of people, especially in the U-tide period where people must go around. And again, it comes around, it's peak period, people are trying to go home. That's my suggestion. And
Okay.
there are helipads on the island. There are a lot of people use Covington. People use Covington to get to the airport from the island. They don't even drive. And these are regular people.
Okay, so Mr. President, use a helicopter another time, whatever you're coming. But I was even going to say that, did he have to come this early? Wait till next week.
He can go anywhere, whenever he wants. Anybody can do anything. Officially, the, what's it called now? The Executive Council is on recess. You know, they had their last session of the year a few days ago, so it's understandable. In fairness to this president, I know that it's still going to be working. People are still going to be coming through, so it's not like it's shutting down completely.
Yeah, it's not that, but anyway, Sha, just want to put out that the president is officially in Lagos till next year.
Yeah,
and then
when Buhari would go to Daura, nobody would ask him not to come when he wants to come.
It's Daura.
It's because you don't live there. Yeah, exactly.
I get it, but
that's a tad bit selfish.
No, what I mean by it's Lagos is because we definitely don't have the population that Daura probably doesn't have. Does not have the population. So you're not disrupting as many people's lives as that.
Yeah, that's the same thing
just saying. That's why I was actually saying what I said. Anyway, just also wanted to put it out there. Yesterday, also the president also announced appointments of 72 executives of river basin authorities. Just also just put that out there. So let's come back to a few other things. There are also going to be conversations about the budget. The PDP obviously has something to say about the budget. It's kind of expected. But before we go into all that, let's come to the FCT. There's quite a number of conversations from the FCT. First things first, the minister. The minister has now revoked allocations of 762 landowners. On that list has the former president, Buhari, has the current secretary of the Federation, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the SGF, George Akume. On that list has the former CJN, Onogen. That list has even the Speaker of the House of Representatives on that list as well. There are quite a number of influential people on that list, but Minister Wike has said everybody should go and pay.
Yeah, so the revocation doesn't mean that they are taking the land back.
Basically,
I thought to revoke means to cancel or something. Abi?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure. So I know that so what happens that they've revoked the ownership of the lands now for non-payment of the statutory fees. Yeah. Now what the FCTA has now done has now issued a 2-week ultimatum to 614 other individuals to settle their outstanding rights of occupancy or face the risk of losing their plots as well. So at this point, I'm not sure they're going to get those lands back.
Exactly. So I wanted us to be clear.
Yeah, it's a different set of people that there's an ultimatum
revocation. When they're revoking means that you lose your land. That's what it's saying. And if you're not going to be sentimental about things, if they can revoke the land of the immediate past president of Nigeria, who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? The current speaker, the current secretary to the government, former governors. On that note, the Senate chief whip is also on that list as well. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani is also on that list. So if they can revoke those people's,
it just shows one thing again, because the list of 600 plus that they mentioned that they've given 2 weeks to go pay, it shows you one bad thing about the Nigerian elite, political or business class. They are proverbial onigbeses. Like, what is onigbese in English? They are debtors. They are lawless, like Dolupo said, because isn't it funny? Isn't it strange that you get land allocated? We don't even know how you got the land in the first place, but you shall have it. It's in your name, but you're not paying your bills.
You're not paying your bills. So we have a comment from Olabola. Says, why didn't NAFDAC name the criminals involved in producing the fake products? Why?
That's a very good question.
I know they had just talked about how they were they had arrested the heads of the market or something, but I'm not sure there was specificity to that.
To be honest, we're at the point where it should be name and shame. If you look at the gravity of this crime that they've committed, like an entire market, 90% of what they do there is to fake, items. It's beyond drinks now.
Oh yeah, everything that seems to come out of that market.
Every Nigerian brand is been messed up in that market.
Exactly.
And you can imagine how people are falling ill. They are paying top naira and they are buying fake products. Do you understand?
Because that's the sad part. Most of the time, these things are not even cheaper. So you don't even realize that there is a problem, because it's not even like it's way cheaper than the original one. 2, call me naive, but how is it okay? Like, how do you sleep at night when you know fully well that what you're churning out is fake?
They don't even have that problem because they have money. They would have taken your money and my money, and of course they don't care. Their bank account is reading Bagam, so they don't really care. And if it was me, this is an opportunity for the Nigerian political class, especially the National House of Assembly, to cancel whatever recess and treat this thing as a matter of national security. And
it is national security. People are probably died. People are falling ill.
Day-to-day items. Then again, especially during the Yuletide, people are partying.
Okay, I will read this comment.
Okay.
According to Olabola, he says, we all know why now. The same people claiming that they occupied Ile-Ife before Yorubas.
You've seen that video.
Yoruba nation now. Enough is enough. Okay.
We have read the comments.
We have read the comments and we move. Honestly, I think that I would not blame NAFDAC on this, because the first thing that should be done is what they did, is that the market, and I read their statement, they had said that what happened last year, they had warned them. They went back this year and they didn't do anything about it. So the market is shut down.
Again, as much as we want to say kudos to NAFDAC for shutting the market down, you shut them down last year, allowed them to go back to operations. Why wait so long?
So long, yeah?
Do you understand? This is a matter of national security. Maybe they should have had someone on ground there monitoring their day-to-day activities.
Maybe they should have
had some kind of periodic checks on them. You see, we need to stop treating this thing with kid gloves. This is a matter of national security. Look, they were producing beverage.
Yeah, they're producing all sorts of things.
Understand? Maybe I'm going to be funny about what I'm about to say, but a lot of us grown people don't take beverages like children do.
Yeah, these are children that their system is not even as developed.
Exactly.
So it is actually crazy. When I tell people that there are some things in my books that I feel that when people are caught, it is tantamount to murder or attempted murder.
You look, Dolupo. Every time we compare, China is industrialized. How did they get it right?
Yeah. Chief Owanikoko is here, sir, for like 2 days. I was looking for you to defend our Ekiti heritage.
Your mushroom.
Come and see how they have been. I'm sure if you go back to the old videos for this week, if you see how Shola Rogers and I think Peterman were denigrating the Ekiti people, the Ekiti heritage.
We will never
Thank you, sir.
Ekiti
so
people.
I would read his comments, and he says, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon here. We lost a family member in Abule Egba years ago after getting injected with fake medicine. his kidney shut down.
Oh God.
That is crazy. So Alabala says, how can somebody fake baby food? That is heartless. That should be life imprisonment. Do you get my point?
That's
like baby food. Are you kidding? So do you understand? If you're buying maybe fake clothes, or it might not affect but the minute you are giving people things that they're putting in their mouth, baby food is mind-boggling.
So you understand? You understand when I say this is a matter of national security?
It's crazy.
This is an emergency.
And then
situation.
there's a whole market. And that's what happens in the whole market.
And the House of Assembly is going on recess. This is you guys don't get the import of this.
And you know the funny thing.
Do you know that most of those things have been shipped across Nigeria?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You know, I will still go back to it, and it might sound a bit tribalistic. I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but I'm still going to go back to the fact that I read something once, and they had talked about how the southeastern elites are not helping matters in the southeast. Why am I saying so? At this point, this matter is not portraying the southeast in a good light. Yeah? What as the so-called southeastern elites who seem to always have energy when it's something that has to do with the north or the southwest or the south-south, as the case may be. However, issues that affect them directly, and we need to nip this thing in the bud. Maybe you need to now start talking to your people. I'm waiting for the people like Obieze Kwesili, who always seem to have something to say about everything else other than things that happen in the southeast. I'm waiting for people like Peter Obi to have something to say. He's been going about the person that his family got burnt and all that. Kudos to him. It's nice. But this is things that is affecting a whole lot chunk of people. This not only affects people's lives, it's affecting the economy of the southeast. It's affecting the perception. There's so many things that is affecting. But I'm sorry. Everybody has suddenly gone mute.
There's all sorts of wrong with this. We're going to have to change the title of this heading that we
probably would at this point.
Everything is wrong with this cemetery road market bust that the NAFDAC did. Everything is wrong with it. We looked at it from the angle of the children. We looked at it from the angle of, like Dolupo talked about, people who should talk who are not talking about it. I'm not even going to bother myself with that. Dolupo has already talked about it. I'll leave it at that. But for me, what is the Nigerian government doing to protect Nigerians?
The Nigerian people. So Olabala says Peter Obi was quick to tweet about Oyo State stampede, but would dare not discuss the NAFDAC story. Now you get my point. And this is not about being tribal. It's just what we can see. You are supposed to be people that's supposed to help. Like, it does not make any sense. Somebody needs to make it make sense to me.
It's a sad situation. And again, I'm calling on the Nigerian House of Assembly, the National Assembly. You can't go on recess until you address this type of matter. It would be nice to have an extra session where you're actually passing new laws.
Yeah,
we need
to invite
measures.
NAFDAC. Okay, do you people need more hands? These things can't continue like this. We cannot.
This is the one that you have discovered. What about the one that they still haven't uncovered?
And it's not. And
remember that the Alaba market and the trade fair complex.
Oh yeah, it happened in Lagos.
In the last couple of days, we've had this happen in the last 2-3 weeks.
In different markets around the country. So it's time to actually look into these things. What's the point?
This is so strategic. Like, they don't even need to do any logistical cost of shipping their fake products. What they're going to do is manufacture them or assemble them in that market. When that lady was bringing out the bowl that they were bottling some nice cognacs and whiskeys, I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Like, wow.
See, I know we don't have proof here. Probably don't have proof. There's a lot more markets, even in Lagos State, even in the other places in the Southwest, that these things still happen. So it's time to actually maybe sit down with NAFDAC, sit down with the DSS, sit down with the police, with security agencies. How do you actually, because like you said, it's a matter of national security.
Name and shame.
People would die.
This time last year, there were some men that were arrested like this in Lagos, some part of or draw local governments or something in this building that was flooded, and those guys were bottling wine.
Yeah,
they were bottling wine.
I will still say, how do people sleep at night?
So just picture you've been careful all your life. You know where to get original wine. Yeah, you want to let your hair down. But now this is you at your friend's party. Of course, your friend will give you wine now, and you will drink it.
And you will now. Remember, I don't know if you remember this Nigerian, there was a gospel artist that actually passed on because
malaria.
of fake medicine.
Yeah, I think he had malaria and he was treated. Eric, or what's the guy's name?
Eric Arubaye, yes.
Yeah, and the guy, just like Chief Onikoko wrote in the comment section about a relative that his kidney shut down because it was injected.
It's unfair. You know, these kind of things, yeah? I know that when it comes to like maybe over-the-counter drugs, I have family members that when they travel, they just buy a lot of these things in bulk.
Yeah, again,
so that
we want to grow the naira. Do you understand? But if I need some items now, won't I rather import them?
Exactly.
Because I know I'm getting the real thing and I'm paying the value for it.
So Chief Onikoko says, Omo ino la sino. NAFDAC needs a president like the great Gloria Kungi. Is she Gloria? No, her name was
Dora,
Dora Kunili. Yeah, that woman. I don't know if they're gonna.
She's amazing. She was amazing.
She definitely. And
you know, do you know how many assassination attempts that woman survived?
Because
I remember the time when she brought Agele.
Yeah, that and she was shot.
A bullet pierced through.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Please, this government, from the state to local and national level, treat this thing seriously. Don't treat it with kid gloves.
I think that before we even get to the national,
people are dying. A lot of things are wrong with this situation. And there seem to be no repercussions.
Yeah,
because all you do is shut down the market and they relocate to another place and continue their nefarious activities.
I was even going to say that local governments are very quick to say we are the owners of the markets. Yeah, you are quick to collect IGR and all that. What are you doing with those markets? This is part of your job.
And again,
if you are going to collect monies and you're going to generate IGR from such a market, then you do not have, and then these things are happening in the markets you're supervising. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing.
We would like to advocate for the Minister of ICT, Bosun Tijani, to work with all these other agencies to create a whistleblower app.
For a lot of these things.
There are other things happening that people are seeing, but they don't know how.
They don't know how to report. You get to supermarkets. They don't have. You are buying.
They don't.
You see fake.
They don't even have 10 followers or 50 followers that will help them retweet until it goes viral.
Were we not here when we realized that there's a particular children's toothpaste?
That's fake.
That's fake. Apparently, it's in every store. Even the people selling it don't even realize that they're selling fake.
High-end stores, though. We all remember. Have you guys forgotten too soon the case of this oyster? Sauce.
Yeah, all those funny sauces, soy sauce, and apparently
99% of soy sauce in Nigeria was fake.
You know, since that time, I'm not sure I've really ever bought those things.
What
anymore.
Are we cooking? Let them keep their soy. We don't need it.
Let's use our salt. We'll stick to the original one that we are used to.
It's a sad situation.
It is actually very.
At this point now, people coming from abroad, we're telling them, please buy paste. But what was this our toothpaste? I won't mention the brand. Please help us buy.
Yeah, buy. Just buy.
It's that bad.
Crazy. It is crazy.
And we want to grow the naira.
Yeah.
And we believe in Nigeria.
Okay, so Peterman says, we did the needful in Ibadan in 1997 when the government refused to deal with these people. I will not say more than that. What happened in 97?
And
I was in Ibadan in 97, so what happened then? I'd like to know. Please.
I know 97 when Fela died. 97.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's that Femi Kuti song now. 97. I can never forget.
Oh, really? He died that long?
97.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 97.
Oh, wow.
It was a long time ago.
What's a long time ago?
Going to the shrine on Sunday. Femi, please open. 97.
Okay.
97. So whatever you guys did in 97, I hope it was.
I like
I
to
hope
know.
it was legal.
I like to know, Sha. You
You
can
know?
send it. You can send a mail. You can send a mail. Just let us know.
boomradio@gmail.com.
We'll keep it confidential.
And hopefully from next week we're going to have a WhatsApp number that
That you can send messages to and call. Make short calls. Thanks.
30 seconds
Yeah.
calls.
So
You
next
know?
week, or maybe we should do it start in the new year.
I don't know, next week.
New year.
whenever.
Okay. But anyway, it's definitely coming very, very soon. Moving on from that quickly. So, I don't, we're not even moving on because we started from Wike. So, is Wike not putting a target on his back? Because remember there's still the Rita Lorry issue, and there's a lot of people, even the senator for the FCT, who we know that she and Wike are not on great terms already.
Dolupo.
Already staged a walkout and all that, blah, blah,
But
blah,
she
blah.
begged.
Oh, yes. I'm just saying that there's
So Dolupo.
already issues with...
Dolupo. There is no way Wike and Ireti Kingibe,
yeah.
there's no way they're going to be friends.
There could be. Never say never.
Yes, I know politicians will say, but the trajectory that they are both adopted, they cannot meet. They're not going to be on the same page until one decides to
She
cross
seems to
to
be
the other
want
side.
to be very liberal.
So
Wike
again,
doesn't.
I get it. Just like yesterday when we were talking about death sentence or no death sentence, armed robbery or no armed robbery. I get what the law says. Do you understand? But there's always an in-between, and there are the gray areas.
Yeah.
So it is, for us now, we would be extremely big, viral, if we bash government all the time. But you see, when we try to explain the truth, and we can criticize, praise, but we also prefer solutions. That's the unique thing about the bar. And of course, you guys have your informed comments that you bring, and we talk about them. The reason why I'm saying all of this is that, do we want a country that works, or do we just want, let us just criticize. Let's just move small and
with this that you said, I saw a video that Pastor Okpodjo Imade had posted earlier. So apparently the Commissioner of Environment in Lagos now reposted the video.
Wow.
And he was talking about the rule of law. And he had made a statement where he had said that where they were now, when it was still rented, that the landlord of the place, as far back as 1994, had told him specifically that that place is a car park, and under no reason,
no
circumstance should you build anything there.
Yeah.
That you never know, one day
one crazy
the
government
government
guy
is going to come and take their land. It's easy to say, this car park is no longer a car park, let's go and look for somewhere else to park cars, than erect something there. And he said this was 1994. He said 4 years ago, when the Lagos State, I think it was Blue Line, when they wanted to start the construction of the Blue Line, they said they actually earmarked that place. They had just changed a bit of trajectory to it. But that same place, that he now remembered what the man had said as far back as 1994.
which is longer than 97.
1994, that do not build in that place. And the pastor now said,
like 30 years ago.
yes, that this is the problem. We don't like the rule of law.
Yeah, the truth.
We don't like the truth.
That supports what I was trying to establish. Do you really want a country that works, or you just want a country that, at times,
You will travel abroad and you will follow their rules, but you get here, but everybody wants to.
My friend, I have a friend who lived in the UK for a while, came back home, and there was something he used to say frequently. He said, London is a leveler. London is a leveler.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I kept on saying that was that he met a few top Nigerian government officials on the train.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So you're like, see this person now.
So that same video, Pastor Okpodjo had talked about how he was in the plane. They got down from a plane, I think, going into the US. And there was a governor. He said this was top governor on the same plane. And they got down and they were patting the governor up and down. And I was looking like, how? If that happens in Nigeria, As you are parting the governor, you are parting him to your house.
Yeah. Then again, why didn't he use his diplomatic passport? It's funny though. But
you're still going to get tapped down
no,
and
not
all
like
that.
Not like that. But let's leave that. So the thing is that Nyesom Wike, you don't need to like his personality.
Yeah.
But Nyesom Wike has brought back what El Rufai was in Abuja.
Yeah.
First, there is a master plan. There is a master plan.
So let's just go back to the original plan.
And what people do, and I noticed that thing about Nigerians. If you go and say, oh, this area is a setback, the government is going to build a bridge here in a few years' time, and you clear the place, trust me, the next day, mechanics are going to move in. The mechanics will move into one side.
In fact, everybody just does
one
as
man
he likes.
will come and he will be collecting rent from them.
Oh, yeah.
The day government now said, we're ready to build that bridge. Hey, that's where people are feeding their family from. Oh. But there is a master plan. Nobody cares about that. So it's for people like El Rufai and Wike who would damn the consequences and say, I don't care. You don't give me work, they don't give me work.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to go all out and I'm going to do what I have to do.
And keep in mind, at this point in his life, he doesn't need votes, literally.
There've been stories of how the Ritalori land, this land that they're talking about, if this woman has papers, don't argue with them. In fact, let them bring down your house with the paper you have hammered. I'm telling you. But if you don't have papers, you're gone, no?
And that's the thing. We don't like
that's where nepotism comes to play. A lot of people, because they know people in government, they know people who are in high
overlook
places.
it. Or social media has made it easy now. You make it go viral and you think that they will... No.
So granting press conferences and all of that does not mean anything until you show them that you actually have papers. When you have your papers, I swear, UK is in trouble.
Exactly.
But if you don't have papers, you are in trouble.
So at the moment now, if he can revoke land of former president of the House of Speaker, the SGF, of senators, of a sitting governor, who are you?
So it still also shows that Nigerians are unruly regardless of their status.
Exactly.
Why are you, the ones that they won now, 600 and something of them, there are some names that were mentioned there, and I was shocked that, okay, you actually have the honor and privilege of owning property in Abuja, but you have not been paying your duties and all of the fines and levies on
story. You pay,
and you want Nigeria to move forward. This is the reason why people are pushing back against the tax reforms, because we just want to take.
Yeah, we don't want anything. Don't want anything to change. Exactly. Now, still talking about the FCT. Another court, that's a high court in FCT, has now admitted former Governor Yahaya Bello, White Lion, to 500 million naira bill. So that's the second bill, yeah?
Well, until he can perfect it,
both bills.
His lawyers are asking for the judge to change some things. For instance, the judge was so strict that the properties that they're asking to use as guarantor or whatever, as surety, is in Maitama.
In fact, there have to be, on his own matter, there have to be 3 shorties and all that. So this judge is not having it anytime soon. He might still...
Some bills are not bail.
They are not bail. It's just for paper. So that I don't say that I not grant you bail.
Some bill is not bail because...
It's almost like they know that you cannot perfect it, so...
Then, like some from 3 people, property others. In Maitama. Come on. If you really wanted him to go, you say property in Abuja.
Kuku say that you don't want
and that's
him
what
to
his
go.
lawyers are saying, that they should grant them. Left to me, they shouldn't even grant him any bail. The reason why I'm saying that is it a bailable offense? Yes, it is. The reason why they shouldn't grant him is because his refusal to cooperate from the get.
Yeah, so that was why the first time he got to court, that was why the judge did not grant him bail at first.
That's what I'm saying. So why are you granting him now?
Now he's granting him bail now. I don't know if he's going to perfect it. Like I said, it seems like something that the judge is like, so that they will not say I did not grant you bail. Sure. But it will be really difficult to. But we'll see where all that will go to. Now, just wanted to also put this out there. The DSS is now interrogated the Statistician General over a ransom survey report. So there was a report yesterday by the National Bureau of Statistics that said that I think some 21 trillion naira or something was paid as ransom in the year 2024.
Yeah, the so-called report also talked about which region was paying the most and the least.
Yes. So
and guess what? This is why, as journalists, please don't be in a hurry to publish stories. They are claiming that they were hacked.
So now the DSS, all the DSS did was, okay, please come. Where did you get
the
statistics for this information? But they're now saying that they got hacked. That the that whole report is not true. So we'll see.
You know, when I saw that thing, one of the reasons why I was never going to publish it or work on it was that if you have this much details, then you must be getting the data from somewhere.
Exactly.
So I was going to ask,
how did you gather that data?
No, I wasn't asking how.
What?
I said, which of the platforms were you using to interact with the specific kidnappers?
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot get that data from the people who paid. Because it's not written in the description. It's from the people who received it.
Yeah.
That you now say, 20-something trillion.
It's a very interesting report.
And I saw top media platforms already.
People had already carried that story.
Please delete it. Again, another reason why you shouldn't be quick to put out some of this security information and sensitive information is that even if it's true, you're not helping anybody with it.
It's not. Anyway, moving on from that, Dangote Refinery, Dangote is doing serious promo, serious adverts. I saw adverts today where they're saying that if you buy for Christmas, if marketers buy one truck, they will give them another truck on credits and all that. And never in my life have I seen that
if you pay cash for one, you get.
I've never seen that kind of adverts before. Like we see like adverts. I'm like, okay, now they're adverts. Refineries now do adverts. Wow. Anyway.
You never saw them because there were no refineries.
Yeah, but then, because there's a level of competition now, at least.
Well, not necessarily because of the level of competition, but because there's actually product to sell. Yeah. You get.
So, last week, it was the NNPC that had announced, I think this was coming from the Port Harcourt refinery, that they had reduced the price of PMS by 20 naira. Now, Dangote, it came today with their Christmas bonanza, and I think it now reduced to 970 naira. Now, Dangote is saying that you should come and buy at 899 naira per litre.
Yeah, so round it up and say 900 naira.
900 naira.
Right? So, I am not excited.
Why?
I am not enthused. And I have questions. I'm bothered. This is it. It's just a Christmas promo. That's what it is.
Or maybe the price of crude actually dropped. It actually did drop.
But it's just a Christmas promo. You need to read what they put out. It's just for the Yuletide season. Now, so if you're saying it's just for the Yuletide season, Dolupo and myself cannot drive to your gantry to buy fuel. You only sell to marketers.
Yeah.
Good. These marketers have tank farms. What stops them from buying this your promo?
And then
leaving it in the tank farm until when you revert back to the next ex-depot price that is higher and they start to sell again. Who's making all that money? The marketers.
Yeah, Nigerians.
That's one. And the reason why this thing that I said might be the likely scenario is that as we speak today, all the filling stations in Nigeria will tell you that it's the one that they bought at 970.
Yeah, that they're still
that they
selling.
have in their tanks. And that's what they are selling. And by the time this promo is over, it will not have affected anything in any way, except you have honest, which is rare.
Which is rare.
Honest capitalists.
There are quite a few of them, though.
Which is rare. That's why I put the word rare there. Who would say, you know what, we're dropping the price by the 70 naira difference. But I can tell you for free that I doubt if this Dangote promo is going to have any effect on the price that we will buy it at the pump.
So we can't put that on Dangote.
I didn't say I was putting it on him. I'm just looking at it holistically, and I'm looking at it from the angle of a consumer. It's a what?
It's a Nigerian thing, or would I say
that? So why would I be
enthused?
enthused? Now back to my point where I said
I get your point, but according to them, they're reducing the price by 70 naira. It is the marketers, is Nigerians like you and I that have decided to be greedy, that would continue this thing. Now, this now falls back to the government.
So,
and how are they going to help the regular Nigerian get?
Yeah. So this is the job of the FCC, PC, the ICPCs, and the Cs of this world. That's on the side. 2, Mr. Dangote, at some point, because the NNPC already have it, should also look at direct sales. It should look at how there's a Dangote filling station in many parts of Nigeria. It should look at that. Upstream, downstream.
Yeah, what the NNPC has. Okay.
The NNPC already has those outlets.
Yeah, so it might not be a bad idea.
They should look at it.
It might not be a bad idea. Now, moving on.
I don't mind queuing at that 17 naira difference. I will queue, don't worry.
So moving on quickly from that, let's go all the way to Oyo State, where something really sad happened yesterday, where there was a stampede at a children's carnival. Sadly, as of last count, about 32 people, mostly children, had died from a stampede.
Yeah. And
they had said that I think the principal of the school where that was happening had been arrested, and there's investigation ongoing. Honestly, this is all this investigation.
What's the principal's own in this? What's the principal's own in this?
Who are they going to arrest?
Why do we play to the gallery? Who is the real organizer?
The organizer, yeah. So now my question with this is that, and this brings up a lot of things. So I saw the crowd. That was a lot of people. I know a lot of people will say that, it's because there's hunger in the land. And you know why I will not subscribe to that? I have seen rich people queue up for things because it is free.
Oh, we still did that food bank last month.
Yeah.
The first set of people we gave food to for free were people who parked the car.
Because it is free.
Because it's free.
To me, it's more about because it's free. Not because whether these people, are you saying that everybody there do not have stuff? Because it is free. However, that now brings up the lack of or lawlessness in this country. Why I said lawlessness is, if you're going to gather the number of people, what is the way, what are the things that are supposed to be put in place? Security, ambulance, all those things. What are the things that are normally put in place? Sadly, the wife or estranged or ex, we don't even know which is which, of the Oni of Ife.
She's no longer his wife.
Oh, okay. So the former wife of the Oni of Ife was actually involved in this.
She's the organizer.
Of this. There's a particular radio station, very popular in Ibadan.
Fantastic radio station.
That is involved in this as well.
Yeah.
And now that's my question. Like, how do you have all these influential people and nobody thought to do the right thing?
So again, it's down to our anyhowness as a people.
I agree.
And we need to learn from this situation. When Buhari came the first time as a military head of state, and his deputy Tunde Idiagbon, they came with something called WAI, War Against Indiscipline. They had to wage a war against indiscipline, and they had to whip people into shape. Nigerians, some people pushed back and said, why? Why are you waging war against your people? But it is something that needs to be done. Let me tell you why. If you cross the express that time and they catch you on more frog jump, you'll be driving past. Then I wasn't driving. I was really young. But you see that people were being punished and soldiers were there by the bus stops. And Nigerians started organizing themselves. You would line up. We call queue up. You would queue. It was because they had noticed that we were unruly and they had to bring that thing back to whip people into shape. But sadly, we did not imbibe that culture. And we're back to our anyhowness. That's the truth. And a lot of people will not like it, but it is the truth. If we understood that, for instance, in certain situations like this, we need a reorientation, that we must give children priority, that we must give the women and the elderly priority. If you understand that, there's no need to rush or push. If you get it, fine.
Yeah.
So they were all going there to get 5,000 naira. And they said they have 5,000 naira for, I think, 5,000 people. You get, which is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, every kobo counts for people. And it was about children for the main organizer of this event.
Yeah.
I saw the video where we've all seen the video where she was talking about what they were planning to do. This is someone who was looking to bless people. But again, you must go must go beyond your drive and look at the entire event and put certain things in place. And sadly, they did not have any of those things in place.
They didn't.
But beyond them not putting things in place, if we were not... One of the ladies that was at that event that turned into, a black Wednesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday, actually.
It is Wednesday. Said that the announcement was for 5,000 kids. Mm-hmm. Of course, the children will not go alone. They'll go with their parents.
Yeah.
She said that the people there were not up to 5,000 by our own eyewitness account.
Yeah.
But that it was because of the unruliness.
Yeah, it was the stampede.
People.
Yeah.
People were pushing and shoving.
That's where
people were fainting.
Security comes in.
And it led to a stampede.
And proper arrangement and all that.
Beyond the structure, we've talked about proper organization. I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters, my aunties, my uncles, my mummies, and my aburos, everybody that we don't need to. Let's imbibe that patience and that culture. We had it at some point in time.
We don't have that patience.
You think you're the smartest person, you must. Yeah. And there are kids there.
Doesn't that happen even when you drive? Doesn't that happen when you drive? Everything. It's almost like patience is out the window for people.
It's a very sad situation.
It's definitely.
I saw a lady that was like, that she came there with a child, and she's living without the child. There was another man who said he came with 2 children. One had died, and the other was missing.
Okay. Wow. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, let's do a bit of sports quickly before we go, if we can go through a few other things. Super Eagles have now maintained their 44th position in the latest FIFA rankings.
And the NFA, no future ambition.
But they didn't play anything now. What did you think was going to happen?
Can I voice my opinion?
Oh my God.
You can crucify me after.
Yes, you can.
Let me voice my opinion. NFA, they are Super Eagles, you are NFA. Wow. You didn't move forward, you didn't move back, you are stationary.
Wow.
O'Shea, solid rock.
Y'all are just it's crazy. You people are just crazy. I have nothing to say to you. Anyway, moving on from that, PSG won yesterday. They played Monaco yesterday, but that's not even the interesting one. The thing that their goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, had that. Did you see the picture?
I saw his face.
Oh, his face.
I saw his face. It looked like it was in an audition for a horror movie.
It was really bad.
They wanted to help him restructure his cheeks.
It was really bad. It was that was horrible. It was such a horrible. Those things happen. Literally called freak accidents. Definitely going to be out for a while. Anyway, Everton now has...
The guy might turn to another Chelsea goalkeeper that used to
Peter
wear...
Cech. Yeah. Quite a number of them have these face masks now. Anyway, Everton has a new owner. So the US-based Fried King Group has now taken over Everton.
Like Liverpool were great for a while, then they were not so great for a long time, and
Liverpool or Everton?
Liverpool.
Okay.
I know what I'm saying, and they didn't win the Premier League. When it became Premiership, they never won it until they were taken over, by the Americans, and they were taken over, and they brought Klopp, and the rest is history. And they are rivals. They are city rivals with Everton. Yeah. So it might be a good thing for Everton too. Maybe they're going to get the cash and the structure that would help them.
That will push them.
And maybe they also will go on to great things.
Okay. And on that note, we're moving on quickly from that. And we saw the EFL Cup started yesterday. I think it's finishing today. The quarterfinals, the second leg of the quarterfinals is finishing today. But there are 3 or 4 people that have moved on to the semi-finals now. The first game yesterday was Arsenal Crystal Palace. Very interesting game.
Fantastic game.
The first 3 minutes, Crystal Palace had scored. Looked like they were having a fantastic game. Second half came and Gabriel Jesus said, "You know what? I'm gonna get this ball today."
Yeah. So I think Arteta had underestimated the strength of the Palace. It looked like it was going to. Don't worry now. Set out the kids, one Neri and the rest of them.
Yeah.
But when you look at this one is slipping away.
And then something that we say that is each competition is completely different.
Oh yeah, it's important that you know what you want to prioritize. There are a lot of games in December, so of course it needs to give some people rest. But those people are like, no, coach, we need to play. We can't let them beat us here. Know, and of course it's Christmas period. Jesus had to come to the party.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely did. Got a hat trick. I think that's the second hat trick of his career, and he did fantastically well. Especially he's been getting a lot of knocks and all that. So that was, and then moved on from that game to Newcastle and Brentford, where Newcastle conveniently defeated Brentford 3-1.
Newcastle have a very strong team. When you look at it player for player, they are underperforming, but they are still okay.
Okay, so I think we have a comment. Tolupo Rogers says that have they been charged for murder, the organizers?
I hope they do.
But according to the Oyo State government, not yet. They said that there's still investigation, but some people have been arrested already. I honestly feel, especially with the people involved in this matter, I hope anything is going to come out of it. But don't let me preempt anybody. Anyway, moving on from that, the last game of yesterday was Liverpool, Southampton, and ended in 2-1. I honestly thought that there were going to be a lot more goals.
I thought it was going to be tougher than that. But Southampton didn't do badly too.
That's what I even thought that it was going to be easier for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like
I wanted it to be tougher than that. But you see, it's looking like this Arne Slot guy is the real deal.
I think he is. Also, for the first time in a while, we're going to be seeing a lot of big boys in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Is going to be really tough. Last game,
nobody's playing around with
anything
it's
anymore.
Silverware.
It is silverware at the end of the day.
I remember when they would say it's Mickey Mouse Cup.
It's no longer
this cup is Milk Cup. That right now,
every cup is silverware, is proper silverware. And the last game of the quarterfinals is happening today at 9 p.m. That is Tottenham Manchester United. I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks.
It's going to be a very tough game.
And I think that because both of them are not optimal, but at this point,
two teams that have fantastic coaches and fantastic players. For Tottenham, this is a good season for them. They've been able to beat some of the big boys. They've been able to, rally their troops, and they're playing like a unit. It's when they see Arsenal, they will not be doing, because Arsenal has their number. I don't know how, and I don't know why. Now, of course, Man United is still in transit. It's a victorious team in transit because of the coach, and you see what he's done in a few moments, and the audacity to drop two of his best players for their toughest game of the season. A derby is tougher than any other game you can talk about. Forget what anybody tells you. Against the defending champions and city rivals, and he still got the result he wanted. So now they have the momentum, and they're going to London. Be honest, though, they're going to London with that.
If it was peak City, cannot do that kind of
City. City. There's no story about peak or
they're not.
Peak.
No, let's be honest. City. This is not City.
I hate it when people.
This is not the original City that we know.
Sorry, please.
City of last season.
Nobody should make excuses for Manchester City. This team won 4 titles on the bounce, even when they were playing nonsense. Last season, we saw it. They will struggle and they will get the point. So don't belittle what people have achieved. In the space of 3 minutes, they were able to conjure up magic. So let's not talk about peak or no peak. It's Man City, defending champions, getting trashed at home. By a Man United that is hapless. So the same team now is going to go to London and face Tottenham. And Tottenham, with Son and the rest of them, they're not going to play around at all.
I think it's going to be it's
going to be a good game. This kind of game should be happening in the final. The way I see these two teams. But again, I'm not going to call it, but it's going to be a cracker.
Yes, I think this is probably one of the most difficult of the 4 games that we saw that is happening. However, with what we've seen, the semi-finals are also going to, because it's going to be very
hot. Look at the teams that have made it through.
Yes. So at least, even if any of these 2 teams get into it too, it's going to be very difficult for anybody. So that is Okay, so that is that on that one as well. Now, before we go, I wanted to have a quick conversation, and this is something that has been going on for like a couple of days. So there's been a conversation about a particular banner in a mosque in Lekki. So this banner seems to have caused a lot of rancor, where someone had taken a particular picture and had said that it was a bit provocative. Yeah, it was kind of funny. And as of yesterday, that banner was taken down. Today, it seems like a worse message than the one that was there before has now been put up. And I don't want to maybe aggravate it. Maybe that's why I'm not reading those messages out for anybody. But SR, you've read those banners. You've seen both. What can you really say about it? And, you know, don't let me preempt you. Just...
Okay, so the masjid in Lekki, the Lekki Mosque, and the message that is there, that message is not new. That message is in songs that Muslims sing. Mm-hmm. Along with Bimo, and it comes with a beat. So it's not a new message. It's not something... A lot of people are angry. Christians are... But you cannot fight the battle of your gods. Yeah. If you believe in God so much, if you are a Muslim, a Christian, or you are into traditional worship, Isheshe, like we like to call it, whatever it is that you are into, it's not your job to fight for your God. When you start to do that, you start to show that you're not fighting for your God. You're fighting for your own beliefs or your own interpretation of the God. Of it. My only take on this, and I'm going to say it without mincing words, is tolerance. Let us please tolerate each other. Religion is a tool that can destroy the world or build the world. Everybody has their belief system. Everybody has a God that they believe in, except the ones that don't believe at all or claim that they do. They don't. Please don't get angry. Don't get riled up. It's not a new message.
So
the Muslims believe what they believe.
Yeah.
The Christians believe what they believe. You know, and there are other people in between. Which I don't have a problem with. However, I am just pleading.
Are we saying that
tolerance, regardless of what this message is?
So I'm looking at it from the angle of: are we saying that is it not possible that some of these messages might actually cause, yes, you shouldn't fight for your God and all that, might actually cause a little bit of what's the word now? Rancor.
It will.
So if you're looking at it as you don't want to cause rancor, shouldn't you, in the bit of being tolerant, shouldn't you respect people's beliefs and not rub some things in their faces? So
what happens when they don't respect your belief? What's
That's
the next
what
move?
I'm saying. You and I would probably not do anything, but are we saying being here when we've seen a lot of things happen, or because of somebody's message or one person's action?
Don't you? If you're going to put it in context, don't you see Christians who also rubbish the Isheshe people?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, see, that's what you know, when they say live and let live, I would, as much as I don't believe in something, I would not put down anything because I'm talking from a liberal perspective. For people that know me personally, they know that I'm a Christian. My best friend is a Muslim. Everybody is, you know, nobody's disturbing anybody. I'm not going to rub my beliefs in anybody's face, and they don't rub theirs in my face. But that's where my issue goes. You and I might be tolerant, but why not let us think of people that are not as tolerant as that? And maybe for the sake of peace, maybe not try some things.
And that's why I said what I said. And I stand by what I said. You see, because a lot of people, we everything we're talking about was handed down to us.
Yeah.
In the Bible, in the Quran, you know, in the incantations and everything. But at the end of the day, first thing is that you are a human being before you are anything else.
Anything else, yeah.
And I'm not going to denigrate or dump on anybody's religion or belief.
Yeah.
There are people who are none of these three religions that I have mentioned.
Exactly.
The people who are the real Israelis, they don't even believe in Jesus Christ.
They don't.
They don't even think he exists.
Yeah.
You get? So there are the agnostics, there are all sorts of people. So I'm just saying, live and let live. To the people putting out these messages, please consider that you're not the only one that have these beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And can you take what you dish?
Exactly.
If you can, go ahead. But for the sake of peace, because the instant you don't have this peace that I'm begging for, the guy sitting next to you becomes your enemy. And it could actually have been your best friend.
Exactly. So on that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, the TGIF edition. We'll be back to give you everything interesting about everything, all the gist. There's a lot of gist that we couldn't even talk about today that we would hopefully get around to tomorrow. So have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for the comments. And we'll be back, like I said, tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time. Have a wonderful day ahead. Peace.